this country can become rich.
There are tons of rumors all over social media in the XRP community that the Federal Reserve is about to use XRP globally using the ISO 4217 standard, and that the price of XRP is already predetermined and set at $10,000. But is that true, or is that just all a bunch of BS made up to string you along to get you to hold something that will never reach that price point? Well, in this video, what we have to discuss is what Elon Musk has been planning and hinting at that has to directly deal with Stellar's XLM, Ripple's XRP, the Gematria behind his new AI technology, Grok, what it has to do with NESARA, GESARA, the great financial, or I guess we could say the crypto reset to drain the swamp for the monetary and fiscal policy reform, and why this is the most groundbreaking reformation to sweep not only the United States of America, but the whole planet, and how this is related to the Doge dividend, the US debt clock and the dividend dollar, and how it's no coincidence that Donald Trump is talking about getting rid of income tax, and mainstream media hinting at this as well. Plus, what's even crazier is how this was talked about in the Bible, and how XRP will do for banking what email did for communication, solving the global problem with the friction of payments, and if $10,000 per XRP is all just a rumor, or if there's any truth there with the US debt clock climbing up for every single country, and the new financial messaging standard through ISO 222 along with ISO 4217, we have to get ready for a complete overhaul of the current financial system for a brand new quantum financial system in the future. So if you want to make a lot of money, then pay close attention to this video. You're going to absolutely love it. Comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, and if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So we have a lot to get into in this video. The first thing that we need to talk about is XRP at $10,000. Is that possible, or is that unrealistic, and is that just hopium? Let's have a realistic discussion about this, and then I'll share my price prediction where I believe XRP is going to go by the end of this video for the rest of this bull run, and also what would need to take place in order for XRP to reach $10,000. Over the past 4 years, I've been talking about XRP, and I originally invested into XRP all the way back in 2017 when XRP was running up from a penny to 30 cents. And I was buying it all the way at 20 cents as well too, before it rallied up to $3. I accumulated even more XRP during the 2021 bull run, and accumulated even more during 2022, 2023, 2024, before XRP exploded from 50 cents upwards of $3, and now XRP is consolidating at about $2.55. So a lot of people that bought XRP on that breakout at $3 are frustrated right now because XRP is down in the short term over the past month nearly 20%. So this is leading them to think that XRP is a scam, XRP is all hype, because there's a bunch of crazy videos out there. And I get it, you see a thumbnail like the one of this video, which may lead you to make assumptions, but I encourage you not to assume, but to watch this video all the way through, because my goal is to provide you with education and information to come to your own conclusion here. Because one of the main catalysts that is coming this year is the new ISO 222 standard. So back when altcoins, cryptocurrencies first started coming out, they were intended as decentralized, less regulated alternatives to the traditional financial system. However, recent developments within the financial system, within banks, show that cryptocurrencies are beginning to adapt the globally recognized ISO 222 messaging standard for the exchange of financial messages across the banking system. And so what ISO 222 is a messaging standard that enables financial systems to communicate more effectively. Different institutions and different banks globally need to use a common language and a set of messages to be able to transact together, which would support interoperability between different financial markets, basically allowing a richer, better structured payment system within the banking space. And as cryptocurrencies strive to be ISO compliant, it would help them meet regulatory requirements to boost their credibility and trust with regulators, and also massive banks globally. Because if certain cryptocurrencies are ISO 222 compliant, then integration within central banks and financial institutions would have a higher likelihood to be used for things like cross-border payments. So some examples of cryptocurrencies that rely on the ISO 222 standard include Algorand, Cardano, Hedera HBAR, IOTA, Quant, Ripple's XRP, Stellar's XLM, and the XDC network. Because the goal of these cryptocurrencies have been to integrate with the new financial system to enable seamless transactions, resulting in faster payments and greater acceptance for mass adoption. And so on xrpledger.org, we can see standard currency codes being a 3-character string such as USD, the US dollar, or the EUR, the euro, or the JPY for Japan, or the GBP for the British pound. Well, this is intended for the ISO 4217 currency codes, and the following rules apply. So the currency codes must be exactly 3 characters in length. The following characters are permitted: all uppercase and lowercase letters, digits, as well as the symbol right here, question mark, exclamation mark, at, little hashtag, money sign, etc. It says currency codes are case sensitive. The currency code XRP in all uppercase is disallowed. Real XRP typically does not use a currency code in the XRP ledger protocol. At the protocol level, the format is serialized into a 160-bit binary value starting with 0x00. And so this is what's called a non-standard currency code. So you can also use 160-bit, which is a 40-character hexadecimal string, such as, and then it just puts this long 40 character of numbers and letters as the currency code. And to prevent this from being treated as a standard currency code, the first 8 bits must not be 0x00. So this raises an important question. If XRP is ISO 222 compliant, but not ISO 4217 compatible, how would it be used in the new financial system? Because as you guys already know, ISO 222 is the global standard for financial messaging, designed to streamline communication between financial institutions by providing a common language for payments, securities, and trade. Whereas on the flip side, ISO 4217 is the standard for defining currency codes like the USD for the US dollar or the EUR for the euro. Because XRP isn't ISO 4217 compatible, because it doesn't fit the traditional mold of a fiat currency with a 3-letter code tied to a nation state, this is really important because the 3-letter codes that start with X means that it's global. That's why gold and silver is XAU or XAG. So cryptocurrencies like XRP or XLM are not issued by a government like the USD or the EUR. So XRP itself, and XLM as well too, doesn't use the currency code in the typical sense. The code XRP is reserved and not used in the protocol. So here's how XRP will be used in the new financial system. Number 1 would be a bridge currency for cross-border payments. That's XRP's primary use case. As pitched by Ripple, it's a bridge asset for fast, low-cost international transfers. And in the new financial world, when ISO 222 is implemented globally by the end of this year, banks and different payment providers would use XRP to settle transactions between different fiat currencies like the US dollar to the JPY instantly. Where the sender converts their local currency to XRP, it moves across the ledger, and the recipient converts it back to their currency, all within seconds. And XRP wouldn't need an ISO 4217 code because it's not the end currency, it's the intermediary. That's extremely important there. Number 2 would be XRP is the native asset on the XRP ledger, used to pay transaction fees and to prevent spam. It doesn't need a currency code for this role since it's baked into the protocol. And in the new financial system, institutions will hold XRP directly for liquidity pools or settlement rather than tying up their country's currency in a Nostro or Vostro account. And number 3 would be custom tokens and non-standard codes. Because the XRP ledger's support for non-standard 160-bit currency code opens the door to tokenized assets that don't fit the ISO 4217 mold. Think of digital collectibles, stablecoins, or even future central banking digital currencies. Now, I know there was some big fuss about CBDCs and how Donald Trump said he would never allow them, and even Jerome Powell as well too. But Ripple doesn't need CBDCs to thrive. They're focused on real-world assets as well too, tokenized on-chain. And when you guys listen to the end of this video, you're going to see more information about this. Because it's important that I cover this first, because while XRP itself isn't one of those tokens, its ledger could host them, integrating into the broader ISO 222 framework for messaging and interoperability. Because even though XRP's lack of ISO 4217 compatibility, it's not going to hinder its utility because the new financial system prioritizes interoperability over rigid classification. Because ISO 222 is about data exchange, not dictating what counts as a currency. So rather than classifying XRP as a cryptocurrency, it would technically be classified as a settlement asset. So with that question aside, the next question is it possible for XRP to hit $10,000 per coin? And if so, what would need to take place for that to happen? To follow up on that, does market cap matter in order for XRP to hit $10,000? Because with an all-time high of XRP below $4, $10,000 is a long stretch right now. This is a massive increase of thousands of times its current value and currently market cap. Because right now, if you look up XRP on coinmarketcap.com, Even the domain name has market cap next to the coin because that is currently how these cryptocurrencies are measured. The market cap of XRP is 148 billion at $2.55. So market cap equals the price per the coin multiplied by the total circulating supply. So if we look at the circulating supply of XRP, the max supply is 100 billion. Well, what's in circulation shows 57.88 billion. Now, that's not the true number because obviously some of that XRP is lost when someone tries to send from one wallet to another, meaning they can't access it. So it has no ability to be sold because it just goes to a dead wallet that no one has access to. So the circulating supply is less, which actually makes the supply deflationary in and of itself just by human error. But let's say the circulating supply, 57.88 billion, okay? So we multiply that by the price, and that's how we get $148 billion market cap. So with that model, which people argue doesn't matter, well, if XRP were to reach $10,000 per coin, with let's say 50 billion coins in circulation, XRP's market cap would need to be $500 trillion. And if we look at the largest companies in the world ranked by market cap, well, Apple, $3.6 trillion. NVIDIA, number 2, is 3.2. Microsoft, number 3, is $3 trillion. So there is not a single company that is worth $500 trillion in market cap. And to put this in perspective, the entire global stock market is valued at roughly $100 trillion. And the total value of all cryptocurrencies combined is typically in the low trillions. And right now, at the time of making this video, the whole industry is 3.17 trillion. So a $500 trillion market cap for XRP would dwarf the entire global economy, which is estimated around 100 to 110 trillion in GDP annually. So yes, market cap matters a lot. For XRP to hit $10,000 based on this model, either the circulating supply would need to shrink dramatically or the world's financial system would need to undergo an unimaginable transformation. So that leads me to the rest of this video on what we're going to discuss, because global adoption as a reserve currency would need to take place. XRP would need to replace or massively at least supplement systems like SWIFT to absorb a chunk of all the global financial transactions. Banks, governments, and institutions would need to hold and transact solely in XRP, driving demand to astronomical levels. And even still then, $10,000 per coin implies a valuation far beyond current global money supply. M2 worldwide is around 95 trillion. The next thing that would need to happen, which we're starting to see the tip of the iceberg for, hyperinflation of fiat currencies. If the US dollar or other major currencies collapsed or hyperinflated, think of Zimbabwe or Venezuela levels on steroids. For example, if $1 today became worth 1/10,000th of its current value due to inflation or hyperinflation, $10,000 would not represent the same purchasing power it does now, but this would be a reflection of fiat failure, not XRP's intrinsic value. And also, we would need to see massive technological or regulatory catalysts, like XRP being legally mandated as the global standard for all digital transactions. So hang with me to the end of this video because I'm going to give you guys a realistic price prediction for XRP and what I'm expecting before the end of 2025. But first, let's dive deeper down the rabbit hole and expand upon what I talked about in my video yesterday, talking about XRP, XLM, HBAR, XDC, and also pointing out what Elon Musk just recently did, changing his banner image when he released Grok 3. So that's an image right here that could be a black hole or it could be Saturn. And he also changed Grok's logo right here with the tagline "to understand." Now, this is a big deal because this could be a subtle hint or a nod at Stellar's logo, because if you guys look right here, you can see this second logo. It's pretty much the same thing, just a different iteration of it with a circle with a slash through it. And I pointed this out yesterday where I asked Grok, "Why is your name Grok?" on my Twitter at RunLifeNick, if you guys want to follow me. And the response was pretty crazy because Grok is a nod to a pretty cool concept from a sci-fi novel written by Robert Heinlein called Stranger in a Strange Land, where it means to deeply intuitively understand something, almost like you're merging with it. So that's why Grok's tagline is "to understand," that Elon Musk posted in this photo right here yesterday. And Grok said that my creators at XAI, which is Elon's artificial intelligence sector of the company, picked it because I'm built to get to the core of things, questions, ideas, and the universe itself. So that's also the reason why I create these videos for you guys, is to get to the core of things. Because I know many of you out there want to understand this from a technical level, from a fundamental level, also from a spiritual and even from a biblical level as well too. So we have to talk about all aspects of it and not just shut down one idea or one concept just because it's too far out there. Because there's so much stuff that you don't realize or I don't realize yet that we need to uncover. So hang with me because you guys are going to love where this video goes. Because it's not just about spitting out facts, it's about grasping the bigger picture and making it click. Now, the reason why I show you this is because the term "stranger in a strange land," when typed in on the Gematria calculator, comes up as 841, 1,446 and 241. Now, for context, for those of you guys that don't know what Gematria is, well, it's a traditional Jewish system of assigning numerical values to letters, words, or phrases, often used to uncover hidden meanings to understand connections in text, particularly in the Hebrew Bible. It's rooted in the idea that language and numbers are intertwined. So by calculating the numerical value of a word based on the sum of its letters and values, you can find links to other words or concepts with the same total. And it's not just a Jewish thing, even though the Jews run the world and have vast control over the monopoly of wealth, but there's variations like Greek or even modern numerology, and it's used for all sorts of reasons like mystical interpretations, biblical, or just playing around with the patterns. So some people see it as a way to decode divine messages, and other people treat it like a fun puzzle. So the goal here is not to say that this is definitive. I encourage you to think objectively about this and use your own rational judgment here, because when we type in stranger in a strange land, in Hebrew, English, and simple gematria, well, in English and simple, it comes up as the exact same numbers as XRP 10,000 a coin. And in Jewish gematria, it comes up as XRP gold standard. Now, that's actually a fact, but how you want to interpret that is up to you, whether that's truth or not. The real question remains is, why would Elon choose the name Grok and also use the same logo as Stellar's XLM? Well, one thing that's really weird is if we search Stellar's XLM on the Gematria calculator, it comes up in Hebrew as 666, English is 816, and simple gematria is 136, which is the same number as is a Elon Musk plan in Jewish gematria. Now in English and simple gematria, it comes up as the exact same number as Great Awakening, Heaven on Earth, Financial Reset. So that's pretty interesting. Another thing that's really interesting is when we search Grok, it comes up as the exact same number in English gematria and simple gematria as the word GESARA. Now, many of you have heard of NESARA, GESARA. If we look up NESARA, its number in English and simple is 348 and 58. The exact same numbers as, guess what? XRP.
Hey, bull runners, if you want more money to invest in the crypto market, did you know that there's billions of dollars in federal cash
for businesses that kept paying their W-2 employees despite dealing with the government shutdowns in 2020 to 2021 during the pandemic that caused massive supply chain issues? So if you
have or you know any businesses that have W-2 employees, you could qualify for up to $26,000 per employee with no maximum limit through the Federal Employee Retention Credit Program when you click the link in the description of this video. Now, this isn't a loan, it's an IRS cash refund, and businesses have been getting back hundreds of thousands of dollars through this over the last few years. So to see if you qualify, all you need to do is click the link in the description below this video right now to schedule a free consultation with a dedicated ERC expert. But you have to act fast because the deadline to apply and share with as many businesses as possible is April 15th this year. And you can also sign up as an affiliate below, share with businesses that have W-2 employees, and earn 2% on their refunds. All they do is they simply click your link, they schedule a consultation before April 15th, and they will see how much they qualify to get back. So this is a great way to get money back in your pocket to invest in the crypto market before the next major breakout. And most businesses have missed out on this credit because the ERC qualifications have changed 3 times over the years. So if you were told in the past that you didn't qualify for this, there's actually a chance now that you do qualify. So click the link below, schedule a free consultation today, and let's help you get some money back in your pocket this bull run. And if you know any businesses that have W-2 employees, sign up as an affiliate right now through the link below. Share your link with as many businesses as possible before April 15th, and let's get you paid.
So what is NESARA, GESARA, and why is it relevant? Or is this just Kookyville going down conspiracy land, and should you write this all off? Well, NESARA and GESARA are terms tied to a long-standing theory that revolves around a supposed radical overhaul of the global financial system. NESARA originally stands for National Economic Security and Reformation Act, proposed back in the 1990s by Harvey Bernard, an engineer with a PhD in systems theory. His plan detailed in his book called Draining the Swamp, Monetary and Fiscal Policy Reform. This book right here that you guys can check out if you want to read it, but it discussed this concept aiming to fix the U.S. economy by abolishing the Federal Reserve, wiping out debt through a return to the gold standard, and replacing income taxes with a national sales tax. It was a legitimate proposal at the time. He even printed 1,000 copies and sent them to Congress, but it never gained traction or became law. obviously because of the powers that be at the time. And it was even claimed out there on social media that it was secretly passed by Congress in the year 2000, signed by President Clinton, and then suppressed by the Bush administration after 9/11. And according to the real NESARA, it would cancel all debts, end poverty, and distribute massive wealth to the public, supposedly from hidden funds like the St. Germain World Trust. But essentially, this was one of the most groundbreaking conspiracy theory reformations to sweep not only the United States of America, but the whole planet. Thus, GESARA, or Global Economic Security and Reformation Act, is supposed international extension of NESARA, and proponents say that its worldwide plan involved 209 nations to reset economies, forgive all debt, and usher in a golden age of prosperity, often linked to the quantum financial system. And some people tied it to the groups like the White Dragon Society or figures like St. Germain, a historical mystic turned mythical savior in these stories, to do away with the Federal Reserve, the IRS, the shadow government, and much more. Now, here's where this is really weird. Rather than just zeroing out credit cards, mortgages, other bank debts, student loan debts, all the way to illegal banking and government activities, this is basically the Federal Reserve's worst nightmare, or a jubilee of a forgiveness of debt. But the most amazing thing that people are witnessing right now since Donald Trump has been in office is what the Department of Government Efficiency is doing. So they're considering a tax refund to start out of $5,000 to Americans, calling it the Doge dividend. Listen to this.
$55 billion. So far. Over 1,000 contracts have been canceled. And I think that the number is only going to go up, Ainsley.
Yeah, and he's even showing an interest in the idea of guaranteeing a $5,000 check to every American. It would be called the Doge dividend.
So the Doge dividend, is this what the U.S. debt clock is hinting on with their cryptic photos they've been posting about the U.S. Treasury dividend dollar, saying it's wealth preservation for the next millennium to basically end the Federal Reserve and the banking cartel that they have had over the American people, to usher in the new financial system, which would create a completely new form of the US dollar, which is basically money reinvented for reparations from the Federal Reserve's banking cartel for a century of counterfeiting, money laundering, conspiracy, fraud, racketeering. So with Donald Trump talking about auditing the Federal Reserve, the IRS, well, the time for the Fed's banking cartel is up. So we are seeing a new world rising, where then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. So why is the US debt clock posting all this stuff? Look at this. It's showing a silver breakout, 8-to-1 ratio, the crime of 1873. So everyone knows they've been suppressing the price of silver. So what if money gained value? The US Treasury dividend dollar based on redeemable assets. Look at this. Gold and other real world assets. We got real estate, we have oil, we have silver. Looks like artificial intelligence, a robot right there. And they're even posting about the Department of Government Efficiency when Jerome Powell said, "I can't be fired," right here. This red button with him standing on a platform with the Department of Government Efficiency up here. And this image right here with the US national debt wiped out with a zero with a slash through it. And on either sides of the center right here, you see a treasure chest opening up over America, and America is all in gold. So we're about to witness history this year. Ready, set, go. New money for a new America. Don't believe me? Listen to what Trump has been saying.
This country can become rich with the proper use of tariffs. It'll
Did
keep
you just
companies-
float out the idea of getting rid of income taxes and replacing it with tariffs?
Well, okay.
Were you serious about that?
Yeah, sure. But why not? Because ready? Our country was the richest relatively in the 1880s and 1890s. A president who was assassinated named McKinley, he was the tariff king. He spoke beautifully of tariffs. His language was really beautiful. We will not allow the enemy to come in and take our jobs and take our factories and take our workers and take our families unless they pay a big price. And the big price is tariffs. And he'd speak like that, but he was right. And then around in the early 1900s, they switched over stupidly to, frankly, an income tax. And you know why? Because countries were putting a lot of pressure on America. We don't want to pay tariffs. Please don't. Believe me, they control our politicians. If you look at the kind of numbers that these guys make then and now. But we had a commission meeting in the I think it was 1887. Think of this problem. We were so rich. We had so much money. We didn't know what to do. So they set up a blue ribbon commission on tariffs. And the sole purpose is what to do with all the money we had. We were so rich because we were taxing other people for coming in and taking our jobs. And China does it. That's what China did. If you want to open a factory and sell cars, if you build a factory here or have a factory, they don't take our cars. They wouldn't take our cars. But if you build a plant in China, you can do that.
So 2025 is a quarter way into the 21st century, and this is a jubilee year for the Catholic Church. And this can be critiqued about what it should entail this year, but the main goals are forgiveness of sin, debt, and reconciliation. So this is what the USDebtClock.org has been posting about. 2009 was the last major financial discovery when Bitcoin came out and then altcoins came out. Now 2025 is the culmination of everything that's happened since then, and even prior to that. 1971 was a major year when the dollar was taken off the gold standard. Then this goes all the way back to 1694 with very important things happening at each one of these marks in this picture right here, showing monumental convergence and a debt to wealth revolution that is written in the stars with planetary alignment. And the number one bank in America, JP Morgan, well, JP Morgan is accredited with saying millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. So average everyday people that think astrology, the stars, the planets, all of that lining up is a bunch of nonsense, and that is something homeless tarot card readers would do in the park. Well, they couldn't be more wrong. This is what billionaires plan key events on for their companies because they understand we're not human beings having spiritual experiences, we're spiritual beings having human experiences. And Robert Kiyosaki said many times that gold and silver, it's God's money, and the US dollar is government's money, but crypto is the people's money. And what if Trump finds gold in Fort Knox is missing? He says he doubt it is missing. I want to believe that there's gold there, but what if gold is missing? He's saying the US economy would collapse, the dollar would crash, the world would be in chaos, and inflation would wipe out millions of people, families, and businesses just in case gold is missing. I own gold, silver, Bitcoin, the US dollar would be toilet paper, silver will be king, and you may want to own a gun with bullets and practice, practice, practice. Again, with so much change and turmoil in the world, it's always a good time to take a moment and ask yourself, what if? Because of what Trump just recently said right here.
We're also going to Fort Knox. I'm going to go with Elon because we want to see if the gold is still there. We want to see. Wouldn't that be terrible? We open up this Fort Knox. It's just solid granite that's 5 feet thick. The front door, you need 6 musclemen to open it up. I don't even think they have windows. Wouldn't that be terrible if we opened it up and there was no gold there? So we're going to open those doors. We're going to take a look. And if there's 27 tons of gold, we'll be very happy. I don't know how the hell we're going to measure it, but that's okay. We want to see lots of nice, beautiful, shiny gold in Fort Knox. Don't be totally surprised. We open the door, we'll say, there's nothing here. They stole this too. No, we have a very corrupt group of people in this country.
Now, with him mentioning that he's going to take Elon Musk, well, they've been uncovering immense fraud. And so this was reposted right here from his Twitter page or his X page saying, now we understand why the left is flipping out about a simple email. The fraud doesn't stop at the top. It goes far beyond. And Elon said the reason this matters is that a significant number of people who are supposed to be working for the government are doing so little work that they are not checking their email at all. In some cases, we believe non-existent people or the entities of dead people are being used to collect paychecks. In other words, this is outright fraud. And so that's why they came up with the Doge dividend to take a portion of the revenue that they're finding in this fraud, which is right now $128 billion and climbing, and distributing that back to the American people. So you guys remember that Elon Musk changed his name to Kekius Maximus a little while back at the end of 2024. And what's crazy is we looked this up on the Gematria calculator, and why did he choose Kekius Maximus? Well, it comes up with the same as Back to the Future, meaning of numbers, a level playing field, twin flame meeting, and The Wizard of Oz and XRP the Storm. Now, in my video yesterday, we decoded The Wizard of Oz and the secret meaning behind the movie and all of the characters in it and what it has to do with America today, fake news and the Great Awakening. So definitely check that out after this one. But isn't it crazy that it comes up as XRP the Storm too? And people still think some kind of storm needs to happen before crypto takes off, as if the lockdowns, forced jabs, a delirious senile president, millions of people forgetting the difference between a man and a woman, trans surgeries for kids, and a weaponized SEC suing every single cryptocurrency wasn't the storm. Not only has the XRP army and XRP holders had to take the brunt of that storm from the SEC and price action all through 2023, 2024, or lack of price action, but they had to take it from other people in the industry, specifically Bitcoin holders, because Bitcoin maxis know where the true utility is in the crypto space. It's in speed, settlement times, real world assets, what's happening right now, what Ripple's doing with XRP. So the smartest people in the world understand what's coming for XRP, and those that don't are going to get left behind. Listen to what David Schwartz just said right here.
That is a given. We had a revolution in the physical delivery of goods with the shipping container, which changed globalization, started globalization. We had a revolution in the delivery of information with the internet. But what we don't know is, what is the TCP/IP of money? What is the shipping container of value? We don't know that yet. There's going to be one, though. That is a definite. And that's going to bring changes. And what I also want to get through is that one of those changes that I foresee and that I think is important is that the size of payments are going to shrink, drastically shrink. Many of you people here probably have a job and you probably get paid twice a month or every 2 weeks. Well, why is that? You probably pay bills once a month. Well, why is that? It's because payments are expensive and clunky. But if payments were cheap and simple, then those frequencies could go up. Money could be streamed at you while you're working. You could stream money to your landlord to pay for the place where you're staying. Now, I know those sound dumb, and I'll be blunt. Yeah, they are. And I'll tell you, like, if we were talking about email in the late 90s and you said to me, like, what are people going to use email for? I probably could not have given you the examples that is on everyone probably here, probably has a cell phone, probably has email on it, and probably has hundreds of messages that look nothing like postal mail or the messaging that existed in the late 90s. None of that could I have predicted. If you'd asked me if the internet had enough bandwidth in the year 2000, I would have said, yeah, it has plenty of bandwidth. Well, could I have imagined Netflix and on-demand video? That's ridiculous, right? Like, the cost of bandwidth is too high for that. But the internet drove the cost of bandwidth down to zero. And if the cost of payments go down to zero, the world is going to change. And I'm going to explain some of the ways that I think that's going to change and what that means.
So that's the problem that they're solving, friction of payments. Listen to what Brad Garlinghouse said right here in this on-stage discussion.
Here in Singapore, I believe you get paid once a month. In the United States, you get paid once every 2 weeks. Has everybody thought about why you get paid once a month or once every 2 weeks? It comes down to the friction of payments. And if we can remove the friction of payments, why can't you get paid every day? Or even more crazily, why don't you get paid every hour or every second? You could have a stream of value showing up in your whatever repository of value. Now, why you need to get paid every second, I'm not sure. But I do think there's a lot of dynamics that have been built around getting paid every 2 weeks or getting paid every month. And as we remove the friction of payments and make that dramatically easier, I think you're going to see secondary and tertiary effects that are very difficult to predict, just like we couldn't have predicted Grab 20 years ago.
Now, that's the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, for those of you that are new to crypto. The guy that he's sitting next to right here, his name is Ross Leckow. He's the Deputy General Counsel in the legal department of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. He's been a member of the IMF's legal department for the last 27 years, and as an IMF lawyer, he has advised all aspects of the IMF's operations, including the governance of the IMF, its surveillance over member countries' economies, and its financial and technical assistance to IMF members. He currently leads the legal department's effort to help member countries strengthen their legal framework for the regulation of the financial sector. And so him and Brad have been on stage before multiple times, and this has led people to wonder how Ripple and the IMF are working together. Well, listen to this.
When we talk about the price of XRP, we have to look at the debt. And central banks have an incentive to dissolve that debt right now. And they found a solution, which is blockchain. They actually are going to, in my opinion, based on the research, and also I can confirm this, that the International Monetary Fund has already agreed on a price before all this integration started to happen. So this was a few years ago. They agreed upon a price, and I got a lot of information from Linda P. Jones has a friend who worked at the Central Bank of Australia. And she said that they agreed upon a price, and it's in the thousands. Now, when we, again, talk about the XRP price, we have to look at the global debt, the incentive for central banks to dissolve global debt, in fact, also to utilize this liquidity, source of liquidity from XRP to facilitate, transparency. Moving into the digital economy, this is what they're going to be using. XRP is a financial instrument to serve the global economy.
And when we look at the global debt, we can see the USA, 36.5 trillion, but China, 15.8 trillion, Germany 3.5, Japan 11.9. So every single country is in trillions or hundreds of billions of dollars in debt. And the lowest one on this list is Nigeria, and they're $86 billion in debt. So this is out of control. This needs to change. This will not go on forever. That's obvious. And so this is why videos have been popping out there about XRP glitching to, $9,000 to $10,000 on multiple exchanges for seconds. Could this be a test run for XRP as a global reserve currency, or just an exchange glitch? Well, one thing's for certain. The searches on Google Trends for XRP compared to Bitcoin have skyrocketed over the past few years. You guys can see Bitcoin in January 2021 was at 51, XRP was at 4, and even in 2017, XRP was at 8, Bitcoin was at 100. More people cared about Bitcoin. And just recently, XRP is getting closer to Bitcoin, and so Bitcoin maxis are feeling the threat of losing dominance and relevance as XRP takes the world by storm. So at 20 out of 30, obviously Bitcoin and XRP are now pulling back, where Bitcoin's at 19, XRP's at 13. And the reason why this retail interest is pulling back is because the markets have been pulling back since the 1st of December 2024 at 1.18 trillion. We're now sitting at $883 billion. So a lot of people want to know, will XRP hit $10,000? Now, my thoughts on that, I don't think that's happened in this bull run. Could it happen by the end of our lifetime? Sure, anything's possible. But I like to take a realistic, grounded approach, even after seeing the most bullish price predictions and the most bullish news, to have a pragmatic approach on the crypto market to know how to properly protect my income as well too, so I don't round trip my bags, because I round trip my bags after buying in the crypto market all through the 2017 bull run from the top to the bottom, and I got liquidated at the bottom, having to pay my rent all the way down here, and I had to witness that 2019 bull run while not having any money in the market. I witnessed the COVID bull run, and then I finally started making money to dump into the crypto market all the way right here in 2020 to ride that 2021 bull run up to the top. And then I sold the majority of my crypto all the way up here, and then patiently waited for the bottom to come in to re-enter all the way down here. And I learned some things over the years. One of the main things that I learned was the Bitcoin 4-year market cycle theory is just that. It's a theory. Satoshi cleverly created that based on the global liquidity cycles. So that's M2. So at the top of the screen, you guys can see this chart right here is M2. It's global liquidity. And look at this vertical yellow line right here on the 1st of December of 2019, when global liquidity really started to expand. Well, after COVID, that global liquidity rotated in the crypto market, and we saw the market go from like 40 something billion dollars upwards of over $1 trillion. Then when global liquidity topped out here by the 1st of April, well, that was the complacency dead cat bounce for the total 3, which is the altcoin market, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that includes XRP and everything under XRP. When global liquidity retracted and pulled back, so did the entire altcoin market. And then as global liquidity attempted to break the previous high of 2022, that's when the crypto market found its base and started to break out, when global liquidity broke out on the 1st of November 2023. And then right here on the 1st of August of 2024, global liquidity broke the previous high. And sure enough, we saw the altcoin market break out as well too. So what has global liquidity been doing since September and October 2024? Well, it's been retracting. So we haven't seen global liquidity rapidly expand like what happened all through 2021. We saw a little temporary breakout and then a little pullback right now, which is the main reason why the altcoin market is not doing what it did right here from January 2021 until April of 2021, exploding rapidly to the upside. And we just saw this tiny little pump that didn't get people all excited. It was kind of a little pump fake for people to buy into the market and then shake out people with this pullback right here. So in my opinion, when global liquidity finally does break out back into new highs and rapidly expand, that's when we see the next breakout for the altcoin market. And then that's when we would see XRP make the next move to the upside. So my realistic price target for XRP this bull run cycle would be roughly a $400 billion to a $525 billion market cap, which would put XRP basically around $10. So I think anywhere from $5 to $10 is realistic. On the bullish case scenario, $30 for XRP at the max for this bull run cycle. Now, could XRP be back to the gold in the future? Sure, anything's possible, but I'm not counting on that to make money in the crypto market. In fact, there are plenty of opportunities for you guys to capitalize on this bull run before the next major breakout in the altcoin market. And we're going to share those with you. For example, our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year. And this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000
into over $25,000. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below. Get in right now. Watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree, if that's a goal of yours. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside.